And for the Clarity crew, I'm Christ Gebhards for your 5 at 5. On location from vacation. Part of what I want to say today is that I am thankful for Mike Bell. Mike Bell is a godly man. He loves the gospel. He loves his family, his wife and his children, and he loves the church. And if you also know about my friend Mike Bell, you also know that he's quite a fitness enthusiast. He was telling us today about how to do what to do. We call him Coach Mike, and he is ripped and he is buff, and you might want to call him an all-around stud muffin. Well, in one of Coach Mike's sessions today, he was telling us about a book by Pavel, some kettlebell guru. He wrote a book entitled Simple and Sinister. And the moment that he gave that title, Simple and Sinister, I thought of the devil himself. If you've been with us in our work over the last number of weeks, you know that we have been marching through 2 Corinthians 3, 4, and 5, talking about the graces of the new covenant life. And today, our passage deals with the devil himself in verses 3 and 4 of 2 Corinthians chapter 4, which says this: "And if the gospel is veiled, it is veiled to those who are unbelieving, in whose case the God of this world has blinded the minds of the unbelievers, that they may not see the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God." The devil is about blinding the minds of the unbelieving, and he veils their minds so that they will not see the gospel. Again, if you've been with us over the last number of weeks, you recognize back in chapter 3 that Paul goes on to talk about the glorious unveiling of the life of the believer. The believer's life is unveiled. He can see, he's been enlightened, he knows the truth, he receives the grace of the gospel, he's been found and he's been saved. Well, the veiled life is a life of darkness and confusion and brokenness and being imperiled and being lost. Well, that's the unbelieving state. They're all of that, darkened and confused and troubled in every way. And the only course of hope is the light of the gospel of Jesus Christ himself. But the devil prevents that by blinding their minds. The devil prevents the glory of Jesus Christ occurring in the lives of people by confusing them with distractions and by dealing them errors. And so we need to understand the gospel. You see, gospel clarity brings gospel power, and the devil is blinding the minds of the unbelieving with distractions and errors so that they're off on a false path. So we have the privilege, those that are unveiled, to know the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ. The light brings clarity. That's one of the reasons why we named this channel the Clarity Channels, because we want to promote gospel clarity so that your lives are enlightened and you see what you need to see so that you can live how God calls you to live. It's the light of the gospel, the good news, the great news of the person, work, and words of Jesus Christ. He has come and to reveal himself and to do exceedingly wonderful works and to then speak to us into our lives. It's our privileged understanding to know him and what he's accomplished and what he said. That is our light, that is our clarity, that is our joy as those that are unveiled, to know all that he has for us and take his word and make it your own and know the glory of Christ, all of the resplendent attributes and aspects of his life. This is the light of the great news, the gospel of the glory of Christ for the unveiled life, the Christian life. You see, the devil, simple and sinister, is dividing. He is slandering. He is promoting darkness and error. He's the prince of power of the air that is working deception in this age, but Christ brings clarity. My friend Mike also loves the gospel, and there's nobody that I know that more regularly considers and rehearses the truths of the gospel, justification by faith alone, the person, work, and words of Jesus as our standing and our merit in the presence of God himself. And my friend Mike, he teaches that to the people that he loves, and he evangelizes with great fervor out of the glory of Jesus Christ and what he's done for us. May the light of the gospel of Jesus Christ and all of his glory overwhelm us as believers, and let that light shine through us so that the devil, being simple and sinister, is undone by the power and person of the Lord Jesus Christ, who is the image of God. For the Clarity crew, I'm Christ Gebhards. Be encouraged, be challenged, be clear.